Understanding the samurai mindset. Miyamoto Musashi, one of the most revered samurai warriors, lived by principles that enabled him to remain calm in the face of any confrontation. His philosophy revolved around mental discipline, detachment, and a clear understanding of one's own mortality. To adopt his mindset, one must first embrace the idea that fear and hesitation are products of an undisciplined mind. The power of Mushin, no mind. Musashi practiced the concept of Mushin, or no mind, where one's thoughts are unclouded by emotion, fear, or doubt. This mental state allows a warrior to act instinctively and without hesitation. By achieving Mushin, a person can maintain a sense of calm regardless of the intensity of the situation. Acceptance of death as a means to liberation. One of Musashi's most radical teachings was the idea that a warrior should accept death before entering battle. By doing so, fear loses its grip, and the mind becomes free to act with clarity. This does not mean recklessness, but rather a deep understanding that clinging to life creates hesitation. Seeing beyond the immediate conflict. Musashi taught that one should not fixate on a single moment of confrontation, but rather see the whole picture. Those who remain calm are able to assess the entire battlefield, whether literal or metaphorical, giving them an advantage over those who are emotionally reactive. Emotional control as a tactical advantage. A warrior who remains calm can control not only their own actions, but also influence their opponent's state of mind. If one does not respond with fear or anger, they rob their adversary of the ability to manipulate them. The illusion of fear. Fear is often an illusion, something the mind constructs based on anticipation rather than reality. Musashi understood that fear only exists when one allows the mind to wander into hypothetical losses or pain. By staying grounded in the present, a warrior eliminates unnecessary anxiety. The art of remaining still in chaos. Remaining physically and mentally still in a chaotic situation is a sign of mastery. Many people panic under pressure, but Musashi believed that stillness allows one to observe, analyze, and act at the right moment without wasted energy. Mastery of self before mastery of others. Musashi often emphasized self-mastery. Before attempting to control a situation or another person, one must first control themselves. A warrior who has mastered their emotions, fears, and impulses will always have the upper hand. Training until calmness becomes instinct. Calmness is not something that happens by chance. It is the result of relentless training. Musashi spent years perfecting his craft so that his movements and decisions became second nature. The same applies to emotional control. It must be practiced daily. The role of detachment in confrontation. Detachment from outcomes allows for greater clarity in decision-making. A samurai does not worry about victory or defeat in the moment. They focus only on executing their techniques with precision and efficiency. Fluidity in thought and action. Musashi believed that one should be like water, flowing effortlessly through any situation. If one is rigid and unyielding, they will break under pressure. Calmness comes from adaptability, the ability to shift and change as needed. Recognizing the predictability of emotion-driven opponents. People who react with anger or fear become predictable. A calm individual, however, remains unreadable and strategic, making it difficult for opponents to anticipate their next move. The power of silence. Sometimes the best response to confrontation is silence. Musashi understood that words are often unnecessary in a conflict, and that maintaining a calm demeanor often unnerves adversaries more than an aggressive reaction. Strength through composure. Strength is not only measured by physical power, but by the ability to maintain composure under pressure. The one who remains calm in battle holds true power. The role of meditation in mental fortitude. Musashi incorporated meditation into his daily life. Meditation allows for deeper self-awareness, emotional regulation, and the ability to detach from stress and confrontation. Applying samurai calmness to modern life. The principles Musashi lived by are not just for warriors, they apply to modern challenges as well. Whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, remaining calm allows for better decision-making and conflict resolution. The danger of overthinking. Overthinking creates unnecessary stress and hesitation. Musashi believed that when faced with confrontation, one should rely on instinct and preparation rather than being consumed by doubt. Awareness of one's surroundings. A calm mind is a perceptive mind. Musashi trained himself to be hyper-aware of his surroundings, allowing him to react appropriately in any situation. Controlling the breath to control the mind. Deep and controlled breathing is a fundamental practice in staying calm. Musashi used breath control to center himself before, during, and after battle. The importance of non-attachment to victory. Focusing solely on winning can create desperation. Instead, Musashi taught that one should focus on proper execution of technique, letting victory come naturally. Practicing deliberate slowness before speed. Before one can move swiftly, they must first master stillness and slow, deliberate movements. Calmness and precision always precedes speed and aggression. Knowing when to walk away. A warrior's pride does not dictate their actions. Musashi knew that not all battles are worth fighting, and sometimes the greatest strength is knowing when to disengage, turning setbacks into lessons. Musashi never saw failure as defeat. Instead, every confrontation, whether won or lost, was a lesson in improvement. Developing a warrior's patience is a core component of remaining calm. A true warrior does not rush into action, but waits for the right moment to strike. The role of simplicity in a calm mind. A cluttered mind is an anxious mind. Musashi lived a minimalist life, believing that simplicity in thought and environment leads to clarity and composure. The balance between hardness and softness. Musashi knew that a warrior must be both strong and flexible. Too much hardness makes one brittle. Too much softness leads to weakness. Balance is key, the unshakable core of a true warrior. An unshakable core is built through discipline, training, and self-awareness. A true warrior remains steady, regardless of the storm around them. Understanding that fear is a choice. Fear is a conditioned response. Musashi overcame fear by training his mind to see confrontation as an opportunity rather than a threat. The endless path of mastery. Calmness is not a destination, but an ongoing practice. Musashi's way was about continual self-improvement and refinement. Embracing the samurai spirit in everyday life by integrating these principles into daily life, anyone can cultivate the unshakable calm of a samurai. The key is discipline, detachment, and unwavering focus on the present moment.